Hello everybody, this is Gareth Cahoon Speaks back here with another video. I'd like you to hit the subscribe bar and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, or hit the notification bell to be notified when I post my next post. Or else you could donate to my ministry and the charities that I support at garethcahoon3 at gmail.com on PayPal. This one here is a follow-up to the last video I done on the global so-called Samud humanitarian aid flotilla that had not got any aid on it, but they did have plenty of condoms, cocaine and alcohol on board. Lurgan woman Helena Kearns, who was part of a flotilla of boats bringing aid to Gaza, is detained by Israeli military. A County Armagh woman who was part of a flotilla of boats aiming to bring aid to the people of Gaza has been detained by Israeli soldiers. Helena Kearns from Lurgan is on a boat called the Rising Pilgrim, which is pretty ironic. One of 50 crafts forming part of the global Samud flotilla, which was headed to Gaza. Initially, some of the flotilla were detained by Israeli soldiers who arrived in international waters to apprehend those involved. One of those detained was the sister of Irish President Catherine Connolly, Dr. Margaret Connolly. It is understood Actagallen native Helena Kearns was apprehended sometime later. Just 18 hours ago, Mrs. Kearns posted on her social media that she was with the Rising Pilgrim boat as part of the global Samud flotilla. She said the global Samud flotilla has been intercepted in international waters, humanitarian volunteers carrying absolutely no aid, which has been filmed several times. There's absolutely no aid on board. There's medications that are out of date and very, very little food. Most of it was eaten on the way. Volunteers carrying no aid, as I said, and the solidarity to Gaza are now being detained for daring to stand with humanity. This is not just an attack on a boat, it is an attack on the right to protest, to deliver aid. Do they not know what a blockade is? A blockade means that there's no entry in or out. And to stand against injustice, silence now only enables more violence. And by the way, the reason that they have the blockade on is because of Hamas receiving weapons by sea. So that's why Israel has put a blockade on the Gaza Strip. We are urging everyone to contact your local MPs, TDs, councillors, representatives and government bodies today. Demand immediate action and the safe release of every passenger on board the flotilla. Flood their emails, call their offices, make noise they cannot ignore. Sinn Féin MLA John O'Dowd expressed solidarity with the Lurgan woman. Well, of course he did, after she was detained by Israeli forces aboard a Gaza aid flotilla. And I would be saying this if it had been the DUP also as well. I want to take this opportunity to express my full support and solidarity with Helena following her illegal detention by Israeli forces. It wasn't an illegal detention considering they were illegally entering a blockaded zone. Hundreds of brave participants set out to break Israel's horrific blockade and deliver vital aid. That is a complete and utter joke. I have seen inside the boats of the flotilla and there was absolutely no aid to be seen. Vital aid to Gazans who are desperately in need. It is time for both Irish and British governments to take decisive action to hold the Israeli regime, as they call it, to account for the daily horror inflicted on the people of Palestine. There has been hundreds of tons of food been going into Gaza this past 10 weeks alone. There's no starvation in Gaza, only the starvation that is put upon the Gazan people by the Hamas soldiers. The international community must step in to ensure those illegally arrested are protected, like they're going to be beaten. They're entering a blockaded zone and they're going to be uh, deported back to their country of origin. It is time for both the Irish and British governments to take decisive action to hold the Israeli so called regime to account for the daily horror inflicted on the people of Palestine. The international community must step up and to ensure those illegally arrested are protected and released immediately. The BBC is reporting that Israel's Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu said the raid was effectively neutralising a malicious plan designed to break the isolation we have imposed on Hamas terrorists in Gaza. So, give me her name. Helena, Kearns, you are my scumbag of the week. Shalom, Maranatha, and hallelujah.